Hello, welcome to Pre-Technical Mathematics. This video lecture is on graphs, Chapter 4, Section 4 and 5. This is our definition for slope. What is slope? Here's a line, a graph, and the slope is right here. This angle here is the slope. Okay? So we have y2 minus y1 and x2 minus x1. That's when you're given two rectangular coordinate values. Now let's get a problem and see if we can show you how this slope works. Here we go. Here's an equation, y equals 2x. So the intercept is 0, right? Because if we put a 0 in here, we end up with 0 for y. And if we put a 1 in, we end up with 2. So this is our x1, y1, and our x2, y2. Now we had that formula for slope, we called it m. And we had y2, which is 2, minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that gives us a slope. This is the rise, this is the run, or we can just say it's 2. Now, if we plot some values for x and y, we know we have 0, 0, and we know we have 1, 2. Let's try 2. Just put 2 into this formula, and we get 4. Let's put a negative number in there. These are just random picking numbers for x to give us an idea of how the graph looks. And we'll put in one more negative number, and we get a negative 6. Okay, let's see. 0, 0, 1, 2, 2, 4, negative 1, negative 2, and negative 3. Is over here. So if it's possible, let me try. It's not easy, but I got close. There is the graph of this equation, y equals 2x. Anything on this line is the answer for x and y for this equation. Alright, now section 4.5 asks you to do this on your calculator. So we're going to do 4.5 at the same time we're doing 4, and that way we can get a check for our answers. So get out your TI-84 or above, and the first thing you want to do is hit the y equals button. It's up at the very top on the left. Okay, and then you get a little screen that says plot 1, plot 2, plot 3, and then it says y1 equals. And that's where you want to put in 2x. Your X button is found next to the alpha button, and it has on it x, t, theta, n. That's the button you want to push for the variable x. Okay, and then hit graph. Graph is the button on the top on the right hand side. And you should get a graph that looks like this. Now, if you hit the second button on the top there, and you hit graph again, but we're using the second function, which is the top function, which should be table. Okay, hit that button, table. And what it should give you is the values for x and the values for y. So this way you can check your graph. Here's another one. 2x plus y equals 1. Okay. Let's start off finding the x-intercept and the y-intercept. So I want, this is the x-intercept. In other words, where it hits the x axis. So I've got 2x plus y equals 1, and I want 0 for y. So x equals 1/2. And we do the same thing for the y-intercept. x plus y equals 1. We put a 0 in for the x. So y equals 1. Alright, so let's find our slope. M equals, let's write this out. 0 minus 1 over 1/2 minus 0. Maybe that'll help a little bit explain it. Okay, so what is our slope? Kind of got off track a little bit there. Should be -2. Alright, we need our little table. And I'll just pick some values, 0, 2, 4, and a couple negative values. Let's see, the answer is 1, negative 3, 4, 8, negative 7, 3, and 5. Now we plot these coordinates. My straight lines are getting better, you have to admit. Okay, x is 0, y is 1. X is 2, y is negative 3. X is 4, negative 7, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, x is negative 1 and 3. X is negative 2 and 5. Alright, now you're going to make me do this again, right? Whoops, missed that one. Here we go. There's our graph for 2x plus y equals 1. Now, we want to put this in our calculator to check it. We have to have what y equals. So we have to do a little algebra first and say y equals negative 2x plus 1. That's doing the algebra to get y standing alone. Because you know in your calculator you're going to hit the y equals button and you're going to enter this equation and then enter graph. Okay. Alright, let's get some of our x and y values. This is a quadratic. We'll start with our negatives this time. 0, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, I start with easy numbers because I'm going to have to put it into this longer equation. For negative 3, y equals 4. Negative 2, y equals 1. Negative 1, y equals 0. 1, y equals 4. 2, for 0, y equals 1. For 1, y equals 4. For 2, y equals 9. And for 3, y equals 16. So we have our coordinates. 1, 2, 3. Let's plot them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Negative 2, 1. Negative 1, 0. 1 and 4. 2. And that's going to be way up there. At 9 and 3 and 16 is going to be way up there. So let's try and plot this. That's our vertex. Uh-oh, getting offline. Well, I'm sure you can do better than this. So our plot for a quadratic, again, is a parabola. Check your answers. Put this in to your calculator. Be sure to get x squared. And then hit graph and check your graph. Use your table to check your values. My rule is that you always need to put at least 3 values on the plot. So you'll have to put an x and a y value on the plot. Alright, here's the last one. You try this one. Notice you've got an x squared, but it's a negative. That'll change your graph a little bit. So plot it out with some random numbers and then check it on your calculator. That's the end of this video lecture for section 4.4 and 4.5 using your calculator.